What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Zero here, bringing you all a brand new episode of the Gears Cast. Welcome everyone to the Gears Cast, the best Gears of War podcast here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, got you guys a show today. Look, as people are starting to jump in here, Jeannie says, good morning. Well, good morning to you, Jeannie. It's good afternoon over here. But, hey, super happy that you're jumping in here. Guys, what a wild last couple of... should say a couple of days here. We had Xbox at Gamescom today. Yesterday, I did a live stream with Jeff on Horror Theory for opening night live, and it was pretty wild, man. I got to tell you, some exciting things, some unfortunate things, and we're going to break all those things down here as we are officially in the Gears of War Reloaded waiting room. Gears of War Reloaded, guys, is 6 days away. 6 more days, and we are going to have our hands on the game. You can pre-download it. It's already pre-downloaded on my Xbox. I'm ready to lock in, guys, for, I mean, you could say, Antoine Sheridan says, we back. We are absolutely back, man. You could say that we're about to lock in for the next year, because Gears of War E-Day is more than likely a year away, right? Emergence begins in 2026, as stated from the official Gears of War X page states that Emergence begins in 2026. So when that could be, I have been stating this for a long time on the channel, guys. Gears of War E-Day, I believe, is going to be releasing next Halloween. So I would say October 2026 is when it's probably going to release, which means that we've got over a year of Gears of War Reloaded. And I'm all in, man. I'm all in for it. Look, yes, a lot of people are going to talk a lot of, smack about Gears of War Reloaded, this reskin of Ultimate Edition, this, that, and the third. And look, dude, I can't defend it. I can't, right? It's a PlayStation port is what this is designed for. But at the end of the day, guys, what I'm really excited about is going back to the roots of Gears of War and sharing a lot of these experiences, not only with fellow Xbox fans, but now all of the new fans that are going to be coming in from PlayStation. And so I'm really excited about Reloaded. Obviously, look at it as a stepping stone to get to Gears of War E-Day, right? That's the way we got to look at it. Do I think that the hype is going to stay with Gears of War Reloaded the entire year, like all the way until E-Day? If the Coalition plays their cards right when it comes to marketing, adding things to, you know what I mean, like just to Gears of War Reloaded as a whole, we are absolutely going to have a lot of hype build throughout the course of the rest of this year and then into 2026 when Gears of War E-Day finally, arrives. Because that's the big one. I think we can all agree, guys, that E-Day is the one where I feel like a lot of the old school Gears of War fans will say Gears is back when E-Day arrives, right? I can't wait to re-experience the first campaign after about 15 years for me, yeah. I played Ultimate Edition. That was, the last time I played through the campaign. And look, my story with Gears of War 1, I mean, it stems back to the original Xbox 360. A lot of you probably already know this story, but I'll say it again for anybody who's new. I saved up an entire summer to purchase my very first Xbox 360. So I was working 3 jobs at the time. I saved enough money, got a 360, And guess what came with the 360? Gears of War. And I believe that was the summer of 2007. So the game had came out in 2006. I got the game as a bundle with my 360 in summer of 2007. And ever since then, man, Gears of War changed my life, in a number of ways. I've of course got Marcus, Dom, Baird, Cole on the wall over here in Zero Dark. It changed my life because when I first started playing, I never, of course, had ever heard of, Gears of War. But when it came out on the 360 and I got it as a bundle with my 360, I was blown away by the graphic fidelity because I had played, obviously, on the Xbox, for a number of years. Halo 1, Halo 2, Medal of Honor, Rising Sun was the very first game I ever got on the original Xbox. My parents bought us an Xbox, like a family Xbox. And so it was incredible, man. But when I got to the 360, that I felt opened human potential when it came to the gaming industry. And so Gears of War, I believe, just really transcended storytelling, competitive play, things of that nature. And so all these years later, Play Ultimate Edition, of course, when it came out, and now we get Gears of War Reloaded. And what I'm excited the most about here is that we're going to be able to experience Gears of War 1 once again, but this time with an added, it's like we're welcoming a bunch of, new family members or something to, a big reunion. And, family members who we didn't even know existed, but now they're about to join the Gears fam. Those that play on the PlayStation who haven't had a chance to play Gears are going to get that opportunity and get welcomed into Gears fam. And so I'm just really excited, man. It's a really exciting time for the Gears of War community. And look, the way I look at it, would I rather have Gears of War Reloaded or no Gears at all and just wait until E-Day? I would much rather have Gears of War Reloaded to quench our thirst, to be that stepping stone to E-Day, whatever you want to call it, dude. Doesn't matter. It looks great. Graphically, it looks awesome. Playing the beta was a lot of fun. Sure, there was some issues with the beta, but that's what the purpose of the beta was for. But now, guess what? We're almost there. Now, I say all of that to say this, guys. I do have a bone to pick with the Coalition and Xbox. I don't know whose decision this was, but I do have a little bit of a bone to pick here. Why was Gears of War Reloaded not at Gamescom 2025? As I mentioned, I did a live stream with Jeff on Horror Theory. You guys can go check out our Horror Theory channel where we talk about everything in the world of horror gaming. We do talk about Gears over there as well. And we give you guys some insight into what it all means. But I was over there. We were live doing a watch party for Gamescom 2025, opening night live. And lo and behold, one of the things that we didn't really think was going to be there because it wasn't on Xbox's slate of games that they were going to talk about or unveil or whatever you want to call it, was Gears of War. Specifically, Gears of War Reloaded. Gears of War E-Day, guys, I'm not really, Gears of War E-Day, I believe, is going to be the direct for Xbox Game Showcase of 2026. So when we get to next year, the summer Xbox Game Showcase, I believe, kind of like this year, it was the Outer Worlds 2, had a direct right after the Xbox Game Showcase. I believe Gears of War E-Day will be the direct next year. Book it. So I'm not worried about E-Day. But Gears of War Reloaded is 6 days away. And they had nothing to say about Reloaded. They didn't show us just a trailer to remind the world, hey guys, we're still here. It's still coming. Gears of War Reloaded is 6 days away. All they would have had to do was do that because Gamescom, guys, aggressively is becoming E3, the new E3 2.0. Gamescom is becoming massive. And I didn't realize this. I thought Gamescom was I've been watching it over the years, and it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger, like on a very large scale year over year. Gamescom is getting huge over in Europe. Obviously, it's over in Cologne, Germany. But bro, I'm telling you guys that a massive missed opportunity was the Coalition and Xbox not to show Gears of War Reloaded on that stage at Gamescom. Even if it was just like an ad or whatever, dude. I just, it's 6 days away. And I also am going to say this. All we got to see was the title screen on the Ally X. Yeah. Yep. I saw that. Yeah, for sure. They showed little snippets of it during the Xbox Gamescom showcase today. They showed like little snippets of like what Gears of War Reloaded looks like on the Rogue Ally. But it was like very quick snippets of it along with a bunch of other games. So look, I feel like it was a massive missed opportunity. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but in my mind, the other thing was some of the creators out there within the Gears community got creator codes for Gears of War Reloaded, which is awesome, dude. Big shout out to all the creators out there who got creator codes for Gears of War Reloaded. Here's the thing, though. I really would have liked to see the Coalition invite a bunch of creators out to wherever, to a specific location to do a Gears of War Reloaded like direct or something of that nature, where similar to like what Battlefield 6 did with their reveal, what Call of Duty does with Call of Duty Next. I would love to see that here with would have loved to see that with Reloaded. Now here's the thing, the Coalition might think, Reloaded is just, a remaster of Gears of War 1. We're not going to do like a big, marketing push or a big press push until Gears of War E-Day, in 2026. If they don't do it for E-Day, we'll talk about a massive missed opportunity. But they didn't do that, which I think would have created a lot of buzz. Like, imagine some of the biggest creators in Gears of War live streaming Gears of War Reloaded all in one space while they're like doing interviews, there's press conferences, there's all kinds of things that the Coalition's doing for Gears of War Reloaded, because you're rebuilding hype for Gears of War, period. And the fact of the matter that we didn't get that is just, I don't know, it's unfortunate, and I think it was a missed opportunity. On top of that, I do think that the marketing for Gears of War Reloaded, I gotta be honest, the marketing has not been great. And it does concern me a little bit with Gears of War Reloaded, but it really concerns me actually more so with E-Day. Now, maybe they're gonna put, that being Xbox, is gonna put a lot of resource, development, marketing, promotions, and things of that nature for E-Day, maybe. But I thought it was really a missed opportunity not to just really ramp up this marketing for Gears of War Reloaded. Yeah, we're getting a couple of tweets here and there on X from the Gears of War X account. We're seeing, they're uploading videos on YouTube of like different characters and stuff like this. But come on, guys. At least to me, from an outsider's perspective looking in, I just don't think that the marketing has been great for Reloaded, and I just hope that it improves as we move along here on this journey. Because it's a big deal for Gears of War, this community, to not only go to PlayStation, but the fact of the matter that Gears of War E-Day is also going to be going to PlayStation from specific reports and things of that nature. And then on top of that, could be going to the Switch too, is massive news. It's huge. And so I just really want to see the effort that's being put into the graphic fidelity to gameplay, to all those different things, the attention to detail that we're seeing from that initial trailer that they released for E-Day. I just want to see the marketing be up to the same standard as that. Because, when we see, like, for example, a Call of Duty that's going to get released. Now, I know Call of Duty's on a different, they're on two different, totally different playing fields here, Gears and COD. But Call of Duty does an incredible job of marketing their game. And maybe obviously they're going to get a bigger marketing budget. But dude, I really believe if the Coalition doesn't market heavily because of Xbox, and Xbox doesn't give a lot of a very big marketing budget, that's on Xbox. But it's on the Coalition if they're not consistently pumping out content on X and on just social media for free to really get this thing out there, So, like I said, I feel like there's been some missed opportunities from a marketing perspective. The biggest one being Gamescom, not just having something there to remind everybody that Gears of War Reloaded is coming in 6 days. At the time of that recording was 7 days. And the same thing with Helldivers 2. I mean, Helldivers 2, guys, is coming to Xbox. And I mean, I'm not saying that people don't know this, but what better way to remind people for Gears of War Reloaded, Helldivers 2, that, hey, these games are still coming, guys, in less than a week or less than a week. They're going to be releasing on, multi-console, cross-platform. I mean, it's like, bro, it's laid up for you. All you got to do is dunk it. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts about that in the comment section down below. Let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down and out of the way, look, as we await Gears of War Reloaded, I do want to give you guys my overall thoughts on Gamescom, though. I think Gamescom 2025 was actually pretty good. They showed off a lot of stuff. I was actually quite shocked that they did not show as many games that have already been announced or revealed as I thought they would. I thought that they were just going to dive deeper into a lot of the games that have already been announced, right? They didn't do that. They showed us a ton of new games that are coming into the fray, into the future. And there's a number of those that I wasn't interested in. There was a number of them I was interested in. And I'm gonna kind of break it down for all of you guys as to what I thought about a lot of these games. Onimusha and Ninja Gaiden look really good. Okay, Onimusha, I have no idea about that franchise at all, but Ninja Gaiden is awesome. Absolutely awesome. It is a killer franchise. Mindless fun, very, very addicting, like just a great franchise that I am so excited that Team Ninja is bringing back. We have been asking for it for a long time, and finally we're getting it. So it's going to be up to us as the community to really make sure that that franchise comes back for good, right? That they make continuations into the future. The other game from Team Ninja I'd love to see a continuation of at some point is Dead or Alive. That was a fighting game series that they never continued. And I would love to see them continue it. But yeah, definitely Ninja Gaiden. Onimusha, I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not really sure. But I want to start here with COD. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, in my mind, guys, was great. Overall, right? There was a lot of hacking, a lot of cheating. There was, they didn't release rank play immediately. All the crazy cosmetic skins, wasn't a massive fan of. But overall, from gameplay, the way the game felt to me, some of the maps, the maps weren't great, but there were a couple I really enjoyed. Overall, I thought that Black Ops 6, though, was a slam dunk for Activision. Black Ops 7, the initial reveal trailer was the worst reveal trailer I have ever seen, closely observed, witnessed, that I believe was ever produced by Call of Duty. I thought it was absolute trash. After that initial reveal trailer, though, I told everybody, I said, guys, that reveal trailer was the worst reveal I've ever seen for a Call of Duty, but it is still going to be the FPS king. It is still going to beat Battlefield 6 specifically, because of two things. Number one, it garnered 40 million views on that reveal trailer, whereas Battlefield 6 has not even broken 10 million views to this day, okay, on their reveal trailer. And then number two, Black Ops 7 is going to be releasing day one on Xbox Game Pass. Battlefield 6, regardless of what console it is, you're going to have to pay full price. So, in my mind, there's no way that Battlefield can compete with that. And when the reveal trailer came out yesterday, or at Gamescom, I think, guys, that Black Ops 7 is going to do monster numbers. When I saw that trailer, and yeah, it's got a lot of like mixed feelings from a lot of fans, Black Ops 7 is going to be huge. I believe that. After watching that trailer, the colors, the brightness, just the movement, the weapons look awesome. Like, there's just a lot of things where I'm like, this looks innovative. Different from Battlefield, which is probably a good thing. Battlefield 6 is going into this modern military shooter. And that's what it wants to be and what it's been for a very long time. And Battlefield 6 is going to be very successful. Black Ops 7 is going into the more futuristic realm where you've got some wall jumping, grappling. You've got the movement is obviously omni movement, but it's going to, just like it looks wild. The map's 6v6. You got a 20v20 mode in the form of skirmish. I'm just telling you guys, Black Ops 6 is going to be massive. Or I'm sorry, Black Ops 7 is going to be huge. Will be FPS king. I don't even think it's going to be like remotely close. And you want to know why else? I don't think it's going to be remotely close now. Because if you go yesterday, if you look at the reveal trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 from yesterday, just the worldwide reveal. The worldwide reveal got 40 million views. The reveal yesterday has over 15 million views. And it released 24 hours ago. It has over 5 million more views than Battlefield 6's multiplayer reveal had. Like, just think about that for a second. I'm telling you, Black Ops, I should just say Call of Duty as a whole, it's on a different level than Battlefield. And that's okay, because Battlefield 6 is going to be great. I believe it's going to do big numbers. But I told everybody, and I got annihilated on Animal about this. I made a video on Were Animal, got completely annihilated by the Battlefield community. The Battlefield community found the video, and I got completely and utterly mollywopped by them because I was stating that Black Ops 7 will still be the FPS king. I don't care what anybody says. Just wait and see. And now you get to see exactly what just happened and transpired at Gamescom. And there's just... Call of Duty, it's not beatable in the FPS genre right now. Can it be very competitive? Sure. And Battlefield 6 is going to do great numbers. I believe that. There will be a real telling sign here once we get to the open beta for Black Ops 7. That'll be interesting because we saw Battlefield 6's numbers were insane. I don't know if Black Ops 7 is going to get as many numbers, as many people playing it as Battlefield did. Battlefield did insane numbers. But does that mean that many people is going to buy Battlefield 6? Or are they just going to play Black Ops 7 on Xbox Game Pass day one? Think about it. What do you think of Black Ops 6 campaign, and what do you expect for Black Ops 7 campaign? Okay, that is a great question. Black Ops 6's campaign, I thought it was okay. You know, I personally, dude, I have not been a massive fan of some of these Call of Duty campaigns as of late. I will tell you that the last really good Call of Duty campaign I ever played, and actually I believe it was the greatest Call of Duty campaign of all time, was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. That campaign was dark, gritty, incredible immersive story. I thought it was the best campaign I've ever played in Call of Duty's history, and I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Like, I've been playing COD for a long time. I've played all these campaigns, and that one was incredible. Black Ops 6 campaign, it was all right. Nothing great. Black Ops 7 campaign looks pretty cool. For a couple of reasons. I mean, it's got very like Inception-like elements to it, psychological elements, which Black Ops has done over the years, certainly. I didn't really think it was that great with Black Ops 6. But like when we go back to Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, 2, a little bit of 3, but mainly the first two, that's where I really saw the psychological elements of Black Ops. And so I think Black Ops 7 campaign has a lot of potential. Let's put it that way. It does have a lot of potential. I love that embrace the fear or whatever. Like they have different mottos and mantras for this upcoming title. It definitely seems I mean, it looks like a Treyarch title, right? It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Black Ops 2, a little bit of Black Ops 3, even a little bit of Black Ops 4. And certainly it has elements of Black Ops 6 as well. But the campaign, I think, it could be pretty solid, to be quite honest with you. I think there's a lot of potential there. We'll have to kind of wait and see as we get more. Did I hear them right that the campaign will have progression system? Yep. Which I think is going to be really cool. The fact that they are going to have basically across all of the game modes, everything's going to be cross progression. So whatever you rank up and whatever you do within the campaign, you can basically copy and paste that loadout into multiplayer and then into zombies or Warzone. And so I think that that's really, really cool. It's going to be like we're seeing that for like the very first time ever or something, where you're able to like basically copy and paste your classes across different game modes within Black Ops 7. So I think that's going to be awesome. But I will tell you guys, I think that Black Ops 7 is going to do insane numbers. I do I think it looks like the greatest Call of Duty ever made? I mean, no. You know, the initial reveal trailer was the worst reveal trailer I've ever seen for Call of Duty. It was like, wait a minute, is this Halo? Is this Mass Effect? Is this Stranger Things? And then you find out it's Call of Duty and it's like, what, bro? So that reveal was terrible. But this one, the multiplayer, you know, this big reveal they had at Gamescom, oh yeah, it's going to be big. Like, you can just see it. You can feel it. It's definitely going to be a big game, for sure. And I think the graphics are great. I think the way the movement looks, it's going to be Black Ops 6 on another level because of the grappling, the wall jumping. Looks like maybe you're going to be able to get a jetpack for a perk, maybe, or something of that nature. I mean, it's going to be intense. I can just feel it with Black Ops 7. So ultimately, I thought that Black Ops 7, I think they knocked that out of the park. Their reveal at Gamescom, and then they had a Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Direct, which we got some more information on each individual core mode. And I thought that was really good too. I think Black Ops 7, guys, like, I know people want to see the fall of COD. A lot of people do. It's not happening. It's not coming anytime soon. I'm telling you right now. Black Ops 7 is going to be big. It's going to be a big title. And the best part about it is apparently Xbox, Activision, Treyarch, they've acknowledged how people feel about the cosmetic skins in Black Ops 6. The Beavis and Butthead, the American Dad, all these goofy skins. And apparently they're going to address it. So who knows? I mean, they might do something about that where they don't release goofy skins to be like the Fortnite of FPS, which is what a lot of people think they were going down, and that's where I thought they were headed to. The Fortnite of first-person shooters. Maybe they're not going to, though. I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, they also said that a Black Ops 1 and 2 remaster is going to come out late this year or early next year. Really? I did not see that. I completely missed that, so I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, though, dude. If they do that, be smart. Very, very smart if they brought out a Black Ops 1 and 2 remaster. I think that would be amazing. I would just really like to see, with that movement that we're seeing in Black Ops 7, I would just really like to see some of the Black Ops 2 and maybe even some Black Ops 1 maps brought into multiplayer. They're obviously bringing Raid back. My favorite map of all time is Standoff from Black Ops 2. I would love to see Standoff come back in a remastered way in Black Ops 7, and it's rumored that it's going to be there, so that's awesome. I think it was not Terminal, what was it, Carrier? I'd love to see Carrier. Look, I want to see new maps, and it looks like they're giving us new maps. I mean, bro, there's going to be some absolutely killer new maps, but I'd also like to see a couple of the older maps, right, that get brought back. I think that would be really cool. I just really want them to focus on making great new maps, so then it's not always kind of just a copy and paste of previous years. But nonetheless, the question is for all of you. What do you guys think about Black Ops 7's reveal, the official reveal of campaign, zombies, multiplayer? I don't know, guys. The FPS war is getting very, very intense. Love to see what you guys think in the comment section down below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down and out of the way, let's talk about this. So, obviously, we got Gears of War Reloaded is 6 days away. And with that comes a lot of excitement. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, you guys can pre-download on your Xbox. You guys can, if you have Xbox Game Pass or whatever, you can pre-download it so you are ready to lock in for Gears of War Reloaded. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, though, about what your most anticipated mode is, what you guys are going to do first within Gears of War Reloaded releasing. And, you know, like for me, since I've already played the campaign a number of times, I'm probably just going to jump right into multiplayer, more than likely. I think I'm probably going to jump into multiplayer. I will say I'd love to squad up with a bunch of you. I think Gears of War Reloaded is going to be a game where you want to squad up with people, because I think, might be wrong, but I think that Gears of War Reloaded, you're not going to want to just solo queue, because you're more than likely going to get put into an absolute blender of hell. So yeah, I would say definitely squatting up with your friends is going to be huge with this game. In terms of like just having fun at the end of the day is what you want. Also to try to be competitive and win at the same time. I think you're going to want to play with your friends without a shadow of a doubt. But there were a number of people asking this question. All right. Here was the question. Will people play Gears of War Reloaded long enough before Gears of War E-Day releases? So, let me ask that again. Is Gears of War Reloaded going to die before E-Day releases? Okay? So, here's my answer to that. If the coalition, it comes down to the coalition in a pretty major way. I also think it comes down to us as the community to an extent as well. But it starts with the coalition, and here's why. If the coalition doesn't want to see Gears of War Reloaded die very quickly, it's going to be very important that any bugs, glitches, any game mechanics that need to be changed, hitboxes need to be, updated, or, there's certain things that just aren't doing very well, like what we saw with the Gears of War Reloaded beta, matchmaking issues. If you don't update those things in a relatively consistent basis, then yes, Gears of War Reloaded will die before E-Day even launches. I think the idea, though, is that the coalition wants to make sure that E-Day can get us, or I should say Reloaded can get us to E-Day. So I think that they will do the right thing by updating the game when it needs to be. They just can't be super delayed on these things. If there's a matchmaking issue, you got to jump on it, dude. The coalition they're going to have a significant responsibility to make sure that there's consistent updates happening, that maybe they're adding new content along the course of, the roadmap of Gears of War Reloaded. That'll be very important. But I think that the reason why I think it's obtainable that Gears of War Reloaded won't die before E-Day comes out is because it just has to last 1 year. You see what I'm saying? If you think about it, Extra Father says, hello, what's up, bro? Imagine all you have to do is survive 1 year. Maybe a little bit over a year, right? Because I believe that Gears of War E-Day is going to release October of 2026. So a little bit over a year is what Reloaded has to survive to get there. To me, I'm like, bro, I don't think that that's unobtainable. I believe that if the coalition listens to the community, we as the community, content creators, we've got to do our part with creating a ton of content around this game. We got to keep the fire burning until E-Day comes out. And I think it will, because, when you think about a lot of the PlayStation players who have never played Gears before, if they buy into the Gears fam and the culture and everything else, they're going to easily be able to play Reloaded up until E-Day. As long as things are getting updated, as long as maybe there's a roadmap of new content that's being added to Reloaded, there's a game plan. It's not like the coalition just releases Reloaded and here you go, guys. Okay, we're going back to the lab and we're just going to focus on E-Day. And then they just leave us alone and we're just left hanging almost, where it's things aren't getting fixed in a timely manner. I don't believe that's what's going to happen here. I'm just saying that's not what needs to happen. What needs to happen is you've got to have a solid team from the coalition that is just focused on Reloaded for a period of time. And then the rest of the coalition can be working on E-Day. So you got to split the team up a little bit, where part of the team is just focused on making sure that everything's running smoothly with Reloaded. Once things are in a stable place, adding new content consistently, new unlockable items, skins. They're not going to probably add any DLC. They're not going to add, horde mode, more than likely. They're not going to add a lot of that stuff because they're doing all that stuff within E-Day, right? So I think that they got to focus here on listening to the community feedback. We as the community have to do our part, specifically content creators, with streaming the game consistently, creating content consistently, if Gears Esports comes back, guys, and I don't know if it'll come back with Reloaded, I'm hoping. Esports Rivals is like, this is an organization, I guess, that's starting to like kind of build some hype around Gears of War Reloaded. So it looks like tournaments will be coming back here, which I'm excited about. And it looks like the first ones coming are going to be free tournaments, which is, I mean, dude, that's awesome. I have a video about how TC has got to make news and teasers for E-Day in order for Reloaded to survive until the next game it comes public. Yeah, dude. 1,000%. But hey, bro, here's the thing for me. We got nothing. I was telling the chat earlier, we got nothing at Gamescom in relation to Gears of War Reloaded. Where's the marketing for Reloaded? Am I like, is this thing on? Bro, where is the marketing for Reloaded? You had Gamescom, which in my opinion now is becoming the pinnacle of gaming conventions since E3 died with the pandemic. Gamescom is massive now. You had an opportunity on a pedestal for Xbox Coalition to just remind the world, yo guys, 6 days away from the launch of Gears of War Reloaded. Oh, and by the way, E-Day's coming 2026. But they didn't do it, bro. Why? I'm concerned about Reloaded from a marketing perspective. Marketing, in my mind, dude, you could post some, character videos on YouTube and shit. I don't care. Like, that's awesome for the PlayStation community that doesn't know Dom and Baird and Marcus and all these guys. Like, that's cool. But where's the marketing for Gears of War Reloaded? It's 6 days away from launch. Where's the marketing? And I'm not just talking about a quick, I mean, dude, on X, it should be there should be 10, 20, 30 tweets a day from the Gears of War Twitter or X account. I don't know, dude. That's just me. If I was the head of the coalition, I'd be like, yo, guys, full-blown marketing push should have happened 2 months ago. Hit the button, let's go. Like, it's time to market the shit out of this. It's coming to PlayStation. We're 6 days away from launch. Gamescom is the best opportunity. Now, maybe Xbox was like, nah, dude, we're not going to show off, one of our flagship games. We want to show off Black Ops 7 and a few whatever else. Like, dude, I understand that they, Call of Duty's on a different level than Gears. But this is a flagship IP for Xbox, and it's going to PlayStation. You're in front of a massive audience at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. So international audience. Then you got of course, us here in the States. I don't know, dude. Yeah, they might want the game to breathe on its own, but I don't know. Did the coalition even confirm if they're going to do a Gears 2 and 3 Reloaded? I mean, I don't know if it's been confirmed. I think it's being speculated that Gears 2 and 3 will be getting, at some point, they will come. There's been talk that it's potentially actually going to come before Gears of War E-Day, which I doubt. I don't think that's happening. I think Gears of War 2 and 3 Reloaded would be coming, after E-Day comes out, maybe a couple of years after that. I just don't know if you can allow, or should allow Reloaded just to assume that it's going to breathe on its own. And you know what? On the flip side of it, dude, we didn't see anything at Gamescom for Helldivers 2. And Helldivers 2 is going from PlayStation to Xbox. So, I mean, it's another, missed opportunity to me. I really feel like they could have cross-marketed Helldivers 2, Gears of War Reloaded. They're coming out on the exact same day. I was thinking, maybe Helldivers on day one will have some Gears of War skins within Helldivers 2, and then maybe the flip side, you do the same thing with Reloaded, where you have some Helldivers 2 skins, or just, different collaboration opportunities, because they're releasing on the exact same day. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping, but I think that the marketing for Gears of War Reloaded has been pretty bad. I think it's been pretty bad, personally. I think that you're going to show off games like Chronos: The New Dawn which I know is coming in September, but it's coming in September. Gears of War Reloaded, it's coming out in 6 days. I don't know. I just feel like it would have been a great opportunity to build hype. But who knows? I think that E-Day, they've got to do the same thing with really the marketing has got to get ramped up in huge ways. And the cool thing is they will have Gears of War Reloaded to help market, Gears of War E-Day when it comes out. So I don't know, guys. I think the bottom line is that Reloaded, I think, had some missed opportunities from a marketing perspective. And I even think like Helldivers 2, there were some missed opportunities there, but who knows? But the question is for all of you, what do you guys think about Gears of War Reloaded? The marketing push that really has not happened. It's vaguely happened. Are you guys worried about it? Not worried about it? Jump down to the comment section down below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, hopefully day 2 Xbox Gamescom is way better than the ass they showed us today. Yeah, they basically just showed us Black Ops 7. They showed us other stuff too, but the push for Black Ops 7 is so, you can just tell. It's like they are all in. They even had the COD pod at Gamescom for Xbox. That's how serious Xbox is taking Call of Duty. That's probably the major reason why they bought Activision Blizzard was for Call of Duty. You can just tell. But, actually, what's interesting is they did show little snippets of Gears of War Reloaded at Gamescom Day 2, which is Xbox's Day 1 showing or whatever. They showed little snippets of Reloaded along with a ton of other games when they were showing off the Rogue Ally, the handheld. But I don't know, man. We need E-Day news soon, or else Reloaded will have to have continuous content throughout its life cycle. I think we're going to have continuous content regardless, dude. I just do. I think that the coalition is going to have a small team consistently updating, bugs, glitches, if there's any matchmaking issues, any types of issues with hitboxes, whatever. It could be a number of different things. They're going to have a small team doing that. The primary team is going to be working on E-Day. But I think like the news for E-Day, I could be wrong, dude. I have no insider information. But I believe that the next thing that we really hear from E-Day will be Xbox Game Showcase 2026. Gears of War E-Day will be the direct following the Xbox Game Showcase. Similar to what happened this year, where we had the Outer Worlds 2 direct after the Xbox Game Showcase. Gears of War E-Day will be that next year. And I don't think we're going to hear much before then. I don't know, dude. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they tell us more today. But I just feel like they can use Reloaded as a tool to market E-Day. I just don't think they're gonna do shit until the showcase next summer. I don't know. Marketing is typically the first to go after massive layoffs. It sucks, but it's not that surprising if this was the case for Xbox and Microsoft. I don't know. You might be right, but if you have massive layoffs, that would mean, which they did. I'm not saying that they didn't. A lot of the people they laid off, though, were the higher-ups at some of these companies, at some of the Xbox game studios, which would mean that they would have more money to spend on marketing because they're no longer paying those employees, right? So, look, they're cutting back. We've seen that. They're not cutting back with COD. They're definitely not cutting back with Call of Duty. They're all in, dude. They're like, yo, let's FPS wars, bring it on, dude. Delta Force is about to get completely mollywopped by COD and Battlefield 6, and I think that COD is gonna be FPS king again. Like, I don't even know if it's gonna be close. I know people think it's gonna be close, but I don't think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be I think they're going to go scorched earth against Battlefield 6. Even though Battlefield 6 is what a lot of people want, I just, the numbers tell me different. Like, I look at the numbers and I'm like, yeah, Battlefield 6 had great beta numbers, but have you guys seen the reveal numbers? Have you seen the numbers that Call of Duty's doing right now? I mean, we haven't even gotten a Black Ops 7 beta yet. So I'm with you, dude, about the marketing, totally. But I feel like they would have more money to do marketing if you aren't paying people anymore. I haven't bought a COD since Cold War. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much get every COD. I don't, I haven't bought, let's see, Black Ops 6 I did not purchase because it came with Game Pass. So I've just played it through Game Pass. And I think that's the reason right there, one of the major reasons why Call of Duty is going to be FPS king again, because it's going to be coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. Battlefield 6 can't compete with that. Unless Battlefield 6 went on PlayStation Premium Plus or Xbox Game Pass as well, which Xbox would never allow, it's going to get, if you could play a game that's included on a subscription or purchase the game, even if both of them are like, it's like, oh, dude, I don't know which one I want to go with. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe Game Pass will get more people to buy Battlefield 6 because it's like, oh, I got Black Ops 7 for free because it's on Xbox Game Pass. So I'll just take the extra money and I'll just pay whatever, the $70 for Battlefield 6. I don't know. But Cold War was cool. Black Ops 6 is awesome, dude. I really liked it. Xbox marketing team has been trash for a few years now. I don't know. The marketing team, I guess it just depends on the game, right? I keep bringing up Call of Duty because I'm like, dude, Call of Duty's marketing's been insane. Like, and Black Ops 7 is going to have the biggest marketing push we've probably ever seen from Xbox. But you're right about a lot of these other games. And look, guys, we're talking about Gears of War being really, really bad, and the Coalition being really, really bad at marketing. Guess what? It might be an Xbox issue, not a Coalition issue. The Coalition might have to run every single tweet on X. They might have to run that by a higher up at Xbox. We don't know. Like, think about it. I mean, that's why Xbox fired so many executives, because it was like, if we were working at the Coalition and we finished let's just say we finished a level design, like a new map, right? For Gears of War E-Day, and we had to pass it up to the higher ups at the Coalition, and then they give the approval, and then it has to go to a higher up at Xbox, and then another higher up, and then another higher up. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, and so I think that's what was happening with a lot of these other games that got canceled. Think about Perfect Dark. Think about Everwild. What was the other one? Contraband. Think of all those games. Well, what happened? They were in development for like 10 years. 10 years. Everwild was in development for 10 years. How? So you're telling me Xbox had to pay salaries for all these people for 10 years and the game never came out? That's a problem. Now, part of that is going to be a studio problem, but part of that is also an Xbox problem. And they solved that by firing a bunch of people. And probably moving a lot of people into different studios. Like the good people at their other studios, they move them into other studios, blah, blah, blah. Because one of the things that we're seeing this with is Undead Labs, the guys and girls making State of Decay 3. Guess who's helping the folks at Undead Labs? Obsidian, the ones who are making Grounded 2, the Outer Worlds 2. But guess who else is helping them? The Coalition. The guys and girls making Gears of War Reloaded and Gears of War E-Day are also helping Undead Labs with State of Decay 3. That's a problem, dude. The Coalition already has to do Reloaded and E-Day, but they're also helping another studio. If that studio can't get their shit together and they're having a bunch of people that are just leaving the studio, they have like development hell issues and all these different things, it makes sense that Xbox, what the layoffs did, it sucks that people lost their jobs. But in reality, Now there's not as many layers you have to go through to get approvals on stuff, whether it's marketing, whether it's a certain level design. Now we might only have to, if we're working at the coalition, now we may just go to one executive at the coalition and then one executive at Xbox. And they're like, yep, you guys can tweet that, no problem. It's done. But I think that there's a systemic issue at Xbox when it comes to some of this stuff. And they're trying to fix it. And the way they're doing it is through layoffs. MW2 and 3 are free for purchase right now on Xbox. No way, dude. I didn't know that. That's cool. MW2 was probably the worst Call of Duty campaign I've ever played. Ever. It was awful. And I thought it was a very mid game, at least me personally. MW3 was okay. I wasn't, once again, most of the other modes didn't really care for. Multiplayer was cool. 2v2 gunfight was awesome in MW3. And I think it was elevated even more with Black Ops 6, which, by the way, Black Ops 6 2v2 tournaments, I've hosted a bunch of them here in Zero Dark. We've had a bunch of 2v2 gunfight Black Ops 6 tournaments. And by the way, guys, I'm going to be hosting a number of Gears of War Reloaded tournaments in Zero Dark, which I'm excited about, as well as Black Ops 7, you know, so on and so forth. But anyways, yeah, so I went on a little bit of a rant there about the marketing, the layoffs, all that stuff. I've made videos about this stuff, guys, in the past. And look, I guess what I would really love to see from the coalition, not so much Xbox, because it's Xbox, they're huge. I just want to see an emphasis, what's the word I'm looking for? I want them to emphasize a higher level of communication with the community, that being the coalition. Look, you got this whole Gears fam, dude. You got this Gears of War community that is clamoring, begging for just any type of information, dude, about E-Day. I mean, obviously Reloaded, we know it's coming, but just like, we want the franchise to succeed. And the way it succeeds is with a lot of people playing. And yeah, it's being added to PlayStation, which is awesome. Guys, I think there's a possibility, and no bullshit, there's a possibility Gears of War Reloaded is the biggest Gears ever made because it's going to PlayStation, at least to date. But I don't know if it will be because the marketing has not been outstanding. If the marketing was on point and they were at Gamescom and they had been making like a significant marketing push on X and social media, free marketing as well as paid marketing, I think Gears of War Reloaded, without a shadow of a doubt, would be the biggest Gears of War launch, title, whatever you want to call it, of all time. I believe that with all my heart, dude. The biggest numbers, the biggest sales, all of it. Because it's going from 30 to 35 million users, right, with Xbox, to 75 million with PlayStation. And that's just being added to that 30, 35 million, right? So I'm just saying, like, you have 75 million opportunities for, like, however many users, right, to join Gears of War's movement. I don't know, bro. I just think that Reloaded had the potential, and I think it still does. I will say, I think it still does, to be the biggest Gears of War of all time to date. It still has that opportunity. I just don't know if it'll happen because of the marketing. E-Day is going to destroy sales. Bro, E-Day, like, I'm saying that Reloaded right now could very well be the biggest Gears of all time. E-Day is going to blow it out of the water. Like, it won't even be close. Like, Reloaded, because it's being added to PlayStation, is just adding a whole new element of potential, right? To being, like, the biggest, you know, Gears of War ever. But E-Day, there's reports coming out that it's going to come to the Switch too. Now you're adding it to 125 million more users. E-Day's going to completely blow it out of the water. It won't even be close. I think that E-Day has the potential. I'm just going to, like, that initial trailer we saw for E-Day was so good, dude. Was so good. Just the graphics just tugging on the heartstrings, dude, seeing Dom again. That trailer will be studied one day as being one of the greatest Gears trailers ever. Up there with Brothers to the End, Gears of War 3. Bro, like, it gives me chills just thinking about it. Either will be the biggest Gears game ever, and we'll see from all the marketing. Yeah. It'll be the biggest Gears ever. For sure. Especially if, like, let me put it like this. If Gears of War E-Day is good, if it's, like, great, if the Coalition knocks it out of the park, it's over. Gears of War will be one of the biggest third-person shooters, like, in the world. In the world. Like, I am telling you right now. Because think about this. If you go to Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switch 2 for E-Day, a lot of the old heads that used to play Gears of War that have kids now probably have a Switch 2. As a family console. And they hear, oh, Gears of War E-Day's coming to the Switch 2. Well, I'm about to jump back into Gears. Think of how many people that is. I'm just telling you. E-Day's numbers could be absurd for the Coalition and for Xbox if they play their cards right, if it's truly coming to the Switch 2. Even if it doesn't, even if it just goes to PlayStation, it's going to be massive. But I think in the interim, book it. Gears of War Reloaded will be the biggest Gears we've seen, And if not, I don't believe it's like lack of potential. I think it would be a lack of support from the Coalition and Xbox. Like if things aren't getting fixed. Like imagine we have a Cyberpunk 2077 type of situation within Gears. We would call that an unmitigated disaster. With Cliffy B not being involved, not a chance. With what? With E-Day? Brother, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't know if you guys heard the news. Rod Ferguson is no longer at Blizzard. He left Diablo 4. Number of people were asking the question, should Rod Ferguson come back to the Coalition? You know what I said to that? I said, hell no, he should not come back to the Coalition. And I'll say the exact same thing about Cliffy B, and I'll tell you why. Rod Ferguson is responsible for helping to bring Gears back, right? So I'm super grateful for that. Thank you, Rod Ferguson. Absolutely awesome. But I'm telling you right now, if Rod Ferguson came back to the Coalition, guess what would happen? It wouldn't have been called Gears of War E-Day. It would have been Gear 6. But even if they were like, no, dude, you guys are doing E-Day, it would be called Gears E-Day. He's responsible for changing the name of Gears of War to Gears. That's what Extra Father and I call Gears of War. We call it Gears. That's like saying us, like working at Infinity Ward or Treyarch, we're going to change the name from Call of Duty to COD. It doesn't make sense, bro. That's just the term that we as fans call it. We call it COD. Rod Ferguson literally changed the name of Gears of War to Gears. Make that make sense. So, Rod Ferguson, thank you for everything you did, man, but I feel like we're in good hands after seeing that first trailer for E-Day. Cliffy B, the same thing. Guess what? If you stay in a franchise too long as a game director, as a developer, you overstay your welcome. With Cliffy B, he made 3 of the greatest games I have ever closely experienced, observed in Gears 1, 2, 3. But then we got Gears of War Judgment. The dark ages of Gears, in my personal opinion. The worst Gears that's ever been made. I think that Judgment was, without a shadow of a doubt to me, the worst Gears ever. We see a similar trend with Rod Ferguson, you know, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 4, I'm like, okay, we're moving, like, it's in a, like, I like it, don't love it, but it's, like, going in the right direction, maybe. And then Gears 5 happened. And once again, I'm not saying that Gears 5 was just, like, you know, it's Gears of War. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time, you know, but it's like, if you stay too long, you overstay your welcome. We see this in movies all the time. We see this. We see it all the time in movies. I see it in games. Rod Ferguson almost overstayed his welcome. Like, think about this, guys. If Rod Ferguson stayed, guess what? Guess what would have happened with Gear 6? We would have gotten a fully open world Gears of War title. And the Gears of War community would have turned its back on Gears. I promise you, that's what was about to happen. Gears very well might be back. And if E-Day is anything like that trailer, Gears of War is 1,000% back, period. Rod is now working. Rod can stay there, bro. Yeah, I'm with you. Rod is now working on BioShock 4. No way. I did not know that. BioShock 4 has been in development hell. Maybe, like, look, Rod, rejuvenating a franchise, Rod is awesome. He's going to promise all kinds of shit. He's going to say, oh, there's going to be a BioShock 5, 6, 7. Like, he'll do that. He did that with Gears. He said, guys, there's going to be a Gears 6, a Gears 7, a Gears of War movie. Like, he promised all this stuff. Now, look, he did bring a bunch of stuff. I mean, we got Gears Tactics, Gears Pop. We got Gears Ultimate, Gears of War 4, Gears 5. So he's promising all this stuff, and he did deliver a number of things. But then he left, goes to Diablo. Guess what he did at Diablo? He does Diablo 4, awesome. Diablo Immortal, trash. But he did a number of Diablo projects. And then guess what? He promised a bunch of Diablo stuff. He's like, hey guys, you're not going to have to wait as long for another Diablo title as you did for Diablo 4. It's like, oh, awesome, dude. Like, he kind of makes these promises, and guess what? Then he left. Now he's with BioShock. I didn't even know that. But anyway. E-Day won't be the biggest Gear since Cliffy B won't be involved. I hope it's absolutely amazing, but I really don't think it would be compared to Gears 2 and 3. We don't know about Gears 2 and 3 if it'll be compared to that, but bro, I'm telling you right now, you're totally wrong about Cliffy B. Brother, Cliffy B, like, he is dude, he is like a Gears godfather. Like, he's awesome. But, like, I think that he got humbled a good amount after leaving Gears of War and trying to start his own thing. Like with Boss Key. He started Boss Key, and look what happened, bro. Comes out with Lawbreakers, flops. Radical Heights, a BR to compete against Fortnite. Completely annihilated. Like, then he shuts down Boss Key. And he says that he wants to come back to Gears, but I'm like, no, dude. He's going to come over here and he's going to, like, what Gears of War needed and what we're getting right now is we're getting fresh blood. Like, a labor of love for Gears of War is coming back. With Gears of War, like, Reloaded, which is awesome, nostalgia, okay, cool, and introducing it for the first time to a lot of PlayStation people. But then we're getting E-Day. Guys, think about this. This is the coalition, like, independent of Cliffy B and Rod Ferguson. They're just on their, not like on their own, but you see what I'm saying. Fresh blood. Fresh blood, dude. I'm all in for that. Cliffy B, I love you, brother. Good luck in the future. But no. I see E-Day as a love letter to the fans and keeping the franchise faithful to the story and tone, but I doubt it'll be... Okay, yeah. I mean, look, I don't know if it's going to be as good as 2 or 3. But if it's anywhere near there, anywhere near 2 and 3, dude, we're already. I mean, Gears of War 3, in my opinion, was the best in the franchise. I believe Gears of War 3 was one of the greatest games ever made. Now, I'm biased because I'm a massive Gears fan, but Gears of War 3 and Gears of War 2 and 3 were unbelievable games. Gears of War 1 was awesome, kind of setting everything up. Gears of War 2 ramped everything up to the next level, and Gears of War 3 was just like, man, dude, how can we get any better than this? Well, we obviously couldn't, because then we got Judgment. So, comparing it to 2 and 3, if it's anywhere in that conversation, we're in good hands, without question. So, Judgment, Cliffy was responsible for. Facts, brother. Facts. Clarification that Jason Schreier tweeted Rod Ferguson is now on BioShock 4. Yeah. Well, if Jason Schreier saying it, there's probably some validity to it for sure. I bought Cliffy B's book for my son. He loved it. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, Cliffy B, I think hasn't he written a couple of books? I thought he did. He did kind of like some. I'm pretty sure he did one. I haven't read any of them. I'm bad at reading. I got to get better at reading books, guys, or just like listening to them. I usually listen to podcasts and like audiobooks, but I have not read Cliffy B's book as of yet. But dude, I'm totally with you that I love that Cliffy B definitely kind of reminisces of the past and stuff, and things that he probably did right, wrong, what he could have done different moving forward and stuff. But the legacy of Cliffy B to me, even though, yeah, leaving Gears on kind of a sour note with Judgment, you cannot take away the original trilogy. I mean, what that brought to the table was absolutely unlike anything I can quite remember in gaming history. For me personally, like my gaming journey, I just don't even know if there was anything that even really compared to the feeling I got when, after beating Gears of War 1 and playing the absolute hell out of that game, and then going to Gears of War 2 midnight launch, Gears of War 3 midnight launch, just the... I feel like Gears of War 3 was really like the culmination of a game where I was like, looking at a title that had the big three within it, and that being multiplayer, campaign, co-op, and that like just that the essence of having like a full package like that, it kind of just it inspired me in so many ways. Like, wow, dude, you can make a game so good in multiple different categories, not just the campaign, not just the multiplayer, not just the co-op modes. You can make all of them great. And it did exactly that. The co-op modes in Gears of War 3, unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. I mean, you know, Horde mode, obviously that classic mode. Beast mode, which I've been asking, like just making I've made tons of videos on this, but like, please, Coalition, bring Beast mode back. That would be so cool. But yeah, I think that E-Day, I think we're in good hands, guys. Without Cliffy B, without Rod Ferguson, I really like the direction we're going here, because it feels like we're back to the roots. You're not going into this, like the next thing being Gear 6, where it's like this full open world, you know, scenario, which would completely take you out of the Gears experience, in my personal opinion, because Gears was built on a dark linear story, period. It was not built on this like super bright, like, you know, open world, like, I mean, maybe for a spin-off game, but not for like the main story. Will you be getting the Xbox Rogue Ally? That's a good question, dude. I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet. I'm you know, I'll be totally honest with you, dude. I'm not the biggest fan of games that are not games, like handhelds. like, I think it's cool, but I always am creating content. I'm not saying that you can't make content on the Rogue Ally, but I'm always, every time that I'm playing games and stuff, I always love to share it with other people. So like if I'm playing a game, it's a lot easier for me to kind of set up a stream, set up a video or whatever on my PC, you know, on a PC, and then like play, you know, sit down, lock in, talk to chat, you know, whatever. That's just kind of what I do. And not saying that I don't like to play handheld on my own. I would say it just kind of depends, right? I mean, I definitely do it with like the Switch and things of that nature, but I don't know. I would never say never. Let's put it that way. I brought my kids to Gears 2 and 3 midnight launch at Walmart. What? Oh my God, bro. That's killer. Since 2006, Gears of War has been a huge part of who we are in gaming. It's legendary. I love hearing that, dude. That's that's so cool. You took your kids to a midnight launch for Gears 2 and 3. I remember the Gears of War 2 and the Gears of War 3 midnight launches, man. Unbelievable. The hype for Gears of War 2 was crazy. The hype for Gears of War 3 was huge too, man. I mean, it was at an all-time high for Gears 3 for sure. But yeah, it's a huge part of who I am as well. I never thought in a million years, Gears of War, I was like, you just never know, right? There's different games that change your life. Gears of War changed my life because I worked up an entire summer, 2006. A whole summer, I saved up for an Xbox 360. Was working 3 jobs, 3 like part-time jobs. Saved up a whole summer, bought an Xbox 360, and it just so happened to come with a game, Gears of War. And that was summer of 2007. Ever since then, dude, changed my life, dude, in a number of ways. I got Marcus Dom bared on the wall here in Zero Dark. I mean, it totally changed my perception of everything, bro. Gaming in general for Xbox was gold from 2006 to 2012. Yeah, dude, you're right. It was epic. Yeah. I'm trying to remember Black Ops 2. I think that came out in 2012. That was like the last unbelievable Call of Duty. Yeah, they pumped out such great games, and there wasn't this huge emphasis on microtransactions, and it was all about earnable items over payable items. And I'm hoping to God, bro, that Gears of War E-Day has more earnable items than payable items. I want stuff that you can earn in-game, like, that are epic, that are awesome. Really cool re-ups, re-up skins, stuff like that. I just want to see, I want us to go back to the past a little bit with that, where you take the new technology of like making really cool skins, really cool emblems and icons for the modern day, but just make the earnable stuff cooler than the payable stuff. That's all I'm asking. That's all I want. And a really cool progression system. I would love to see an awesome progression system out of Gears of War Reloaded, but of course, more importantly, even E-Day, for sure. Because E-Day, we're probably going to be playing for the next, I don't know, 5 years, more than likely. So, yeah. Truth be told, guys, I think that Gears of War is back. We got to wait and see what happens with Gears of War E-Day, okay? We do have to wait and see on that. But I do feel like we're in really good hands in terms of the direction, right? I think E-Day is a great return to form for Gears of War. Reloaded, say what you want about it, but I feel that this is designed to introduce Gears for the first time to PlayStation, gives us a chance to go back, reminisce in the past one last time of Gears of War 1 before we get to E-Day. So, let's do it, bro. I'm excited about it. I did want to talk, you know, I had a number of people asking me about Another Xbox game that I felt, okay, you know what, I'll talk about it. What happened here with Gamescom, because obviously we didn't get Gears of War Reloaded at Gamescom. No Gears of War E-Day at Gamescom. And I alluded to it a little bit earlier here where I was talking about the Coalition's helping out another studio with their game, State of Decay 3. And we saw nothing once again from State of Decay 3. And it is painful that State of Decay 3 we didn't see anything from, because it's like the longer we wait for State of Decay 3, the longer that the Coalition is not all hands on deck with Gears of War. Because I don't know what they're helping Undead Labs with. I have no idea. I'm definitely trying to get more information about this specifically, but we have not gone through yet. I just want the Coalition to be able to focus completely and in its totality on Gears of War Reloaded, Gears of War E-Day. So where does that leave us with State of Decay 3? Well, State of Decay 3, guys, I mean, look. I think that State of Decay 3 is definitely still being worked on, because it's obviously being worked on by Obsidian, Undead Labs, heading it, and then the Coalition. So all three are kind of making this thing. Survival, zombie, simulation, horror game. You know, a lot of people are excited about it. I believe that we're more than likely going to be hearing more about that, as well as Gears of War E-Day at the Xbox Game Showcase in 2026. I don't think we're going to hear about it beforehand. I would love to hear about it beforehand as much as anybody else. I mean, I want to hear about Gears of War E-Day before that. I don't believe we will. I believe it'll be the Xbox Game Showcase of 2026. So I think it's like all eyes kind of point towards 2026 Xbox Game Showcase is where we're going to be seeing a lot of information about State of Decay 3, probably a gameplay trailer and a release date. Gears of War E-Day. More than likely at the Xbox Game Showcase of 2026, we're going to be seeing the release date as well as gameplay. It'll be a direct. It'll probably be the direct of next year will be Gears of War E-Day. So, look, bottom line is I'm upset just as anybody else that we didn't get to see State of Decay 3 at Gamescom. We haven't seen it at Xbox talking about it at Gamescom either. So it's unfortunate when you have these studios over at Xbox that are completely radio silent for so long, dude, and they just don't even give you a hint of what's going on. It's unfortunate, dude, for sure. Think about this. The whole time we've been waiting for a new Gears game, Epic made the trilogy. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, that's very true. I mean, Epic back then, and I mean, still to this day, the way that Epic pumps out content for Fortnite is unbelievable. So they have a very good culture at Epic Games. They really do. I really wonder, though, what Gears of War would look like now had Epic continued. You see the direction of Fortnite, and I just feel that if Gears was still with Epic, the Fortnite elements would seep into Gears. And we kind of already started seeing that a little bit with like Gears 5. Some of the over-the-top like skins and stuff. And who knows? We might see that again with Reloaded. We might see that with E-Day. I don't know. I'm hoping we don't, but we might. But anyways, yeah, the fact of the matter is that Epic is they're a solid studio that creates, it's not even so much that they create like some of the best stuff ever. I mean, technically they do, because, the trilogy was unbelievable. Greatest ever, in my opinion, greatest trilogy ever. And then you have Fortnite, which transcended gaming as we know it to this day, because free to play, now you see free to play everywhere. Microtransactions went to a new level because of Fortnite. And it's, cross-play, cross-platform, multi-platform. I mean, it transcended gaming as we know it. So Epic has done some unbelievable things as a company. They really have. So ultimately, though, guys, I think at the end of the day, I think that there's a lot to be excited about when it comes to the future of Gears. And we are 6 days away to the future of Gears of War. And you might look at it like it's not the future because we've already had this with Reloaded, but 6 days away from the future in my mind, because once you get Reloaded, you're one step closer to E-Day. So we got to lock in. Lock in. Let's go, guys. And I hope to play with as many of you as possible, because I think that Reloaded is going to be a game that we want to play with our friends. Squad up, lock in. Let's go, dude. So if you guys are looking for people to play with, squad up with, I'll be looking for people as well all the time, dude. Reloaded is almost here, and we have got a ton of content planned for it, guys. Lots of YouTube content. I'm excited about it. Live streams to just consistent content here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, man, we're almost there. We're almost there. And before you know it, obviously Reloaded is going to be here. But before you know it, Gears of War E-Day is going to be knocking at the door. It's coming, guys. I believe that Gears is back. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let us know your thoughts. And if you guys enjoyed this episode of the Gears Cast, make sure... Oh, and really quick, by the way, guys, I want to say this before I get off here. I've been getting a number of people who are wanting me to bring on more guests onto the show, the Gears Cast specifically. I know I've been having Jeff come on a couple of episodes. Let me know who you guys want me to bring onto the show. I would love to bring guests onto the show, similar to bringing people, like playing games together as a community, that being Reloaded, locking in and getting some games in for sure. But let me know if there's specific people that you guys want us to interview, specific people you guys want to come onto the show on a consistent basis, and what you guys think about the future of Reloaded, Gears Esports. I mean, guys, Gears Esports, it looks like there's a real possibility that Gears Esports is back. I think it's back. Esports Rivals is here. Free tournaments. I think that's going to be awesome. Yeah, man, there's a lot of things. Going to be a lot of ways for us to connect with Gears of War in the future. So really excited about it. I'm grateful and appreciative to all of you. And if you guys enjoyed this episode of the Gears Cast, make sure that you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, just keep grinding. And as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.